we actually, he and I met with the owner / applicant, and I think got him squared away so he can do what he needs to do out there.
Okay. Yeah, somebody I was asked about the other day, because they said, how come what's that contractor doing out there? I said, well, we proved a high-end RV storage deal out there.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty nice. I think the one at California First will be pretty nice too. They seem to.
Well, the one that's at Maple and First, and Paul, correct me if I missed this, the way he explained it to us is there'll be no resident on site, and everything is gonna be monitored using your phone.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be completely electronically controlled. So he said that it was gonna be a high-end type.
Yeah. I think he has a target audience that he's catering to with what he's doing. Time will tell.
Well, I have my RV stored, and it's a waiting list of 6 months to a year in case there's a vacancy.
The guys down at Four Seasons have been talking to us about, they have, I guess, some area of land that they're not gonna build or whatever, about talking about changing that over to an RV storage area just for their residents, because I guess it is, I mean, I didn't grow up having an RV, like, I don't know, much about it, but apparently, like, it is a long waiting list to try and find a decent place to store, so.
Plantation in Calamasa has a little area for RVs for the people who live there too.
Yeah.
Son likes this. Well, when Mark Weaver opened up his RV storage there right across from the Elks Lodge.
He's full in there.
He's full.
I drove by the other day, I was like.
And it took him less than a month to fill it up.
Yeah.
And I talked to him not long ago, and he's actually looking at going back in there, putting some covers on there.
Yeah.
Because where I'm at, I'm
He
covered.
could, he's got, yeah. I think he's got, the way his loop goes, I think he could probably do it. But I was surprised they've got some boats in there, and they've got RVs. I was shocked at how.
Sonic is up here.
How cool they were.
This is the Planet Fitness. Oh no, yeah.
So you have no conflict. You're just busy playing with the Google Maps.
Yep.
I don't want to interrupt him at all,
Nate and I are going to trade off.
Shocking turn of events.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't this supposed to be like a restaurant? A fast food place? This is in and out right here. In and out.
Okay.
It's interesting that they're having it there.
I'm going to open this. Call to order this meeting of Tuesday. Why do I have April 20th?
May 14th.
Well, I'm looking, yeah, May 14th, 2019 of the Beaumont City Planning Commission. Please rise and we'll.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
I can do roll call if you like, Chairman. Would you like me to do roll call for you?
Please.
Commissioner Stevens, absent. Commissioner Barr,
Here.
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Vice Chairman St. Martin,
Here.
Chairman Tinker.
Here. Okay, is there any approval or adjustments to the agenda? Okay. And obviously, we have one conflict of interest disclosure, which will be on item 2, but we can do item 1, though.
Yes, we can do
We're
item
good there.
1.
Okay, then I'm gonna, we approve of the minutes of April 9, 2019, and the approval of the minutes April 23rd, 2019. Do I have a motion to approve? Can I do them both at the same time?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Okay.
Sorry, who was the second? Barr?
I have a motion, I have a first and a second to approve the Planning Commission meetings of April 9th, 2019, and April 23rd, 2019. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? So passed. Well, I'm going to get there. No, not allowed. This is a dictatorship thing.
Okay.
Okay. Any person may address the Planning Commission on any matter not on this agenda. If you wish to speak, please fill out a public comment form provided at the back table and give it to the city clerk. There's a 3-minute time limit on public comments. There will be no sharing or passing of time to another person. State law prohibits the commission from discussing or taking action on any item. Is any member of the audience that wishes to speak? Do we have any?
I don't have any requests for this portion.
Okay. We don't have anybody there, so we're going to move to item number 2, the consider conditional use permit, CUP 2019-0025, a request to allow a massage establishment at 795 East 6th Street, Suite M, in a commercial general zone. And I will open it to our planning director.
Thank you. Good evening, commissioners. Quite a lengthy staff report we have here, so I will try and hit some of the highlights and then open it up for discussion. As you recall, back in February, March, we had a code amendment that came before you guys to allow massage establishments in certain commercial zones subject to a conditional use permit. We took all of your recommendations here. We took it to council. After a couple of meetings, council approved the code amendment to allow massage establishments to operate with a conditional use permit approval by the commission in the commercial zones. The applicant had actually submitted an application prior to all this taking place, which is part of what sparked the whole discussion where we realized that the code was deficient in this area. So they have been patiently waiting for us as a city to address it so that we could then bring forth their request to you guys. The city of Beaumont currently has 8 active massage therapy licenses in the town, operating from 6 businesses. The majority of them are co-located, so we have a couple that are with, actually 3 that are with salons or other uses, and I know that was something that we had discussed. And then we have 3 that are operating independently. As I said, the municipal code recently amended to require conditional use permits. One of the zones that we do require a conditional use permit for this use is the commercial general zone, and that is where they're proposing to locate, where the applicant is proposing to locate. It's a multi-tenant center. We have several different types of uses in there, offices. There is an existing salon with massage in there already at that location, along with several other just administrative professional type uses. This proposed massage facility would offer body and foot massage by licensed therapists. There are 2 therapists proposed to operate at this location, and they are both California Massage Therapy Council certified. This certification basically ensures that massage practitioners and therapists have completed sufficient training at approved schools, and that they are required to meet educational requirements and pass an extensive background check. In addition to the CAMTC certification, our police department will run an extensive background check, including fingerprinting, criminal history, licensure checks with the board, and I've included some backup information about that in the staff report, and also have conditioned accordingly. So in addition to what they've already indicated to us, these things will be looked at and addressed prior to occupancy being authorized. There's 2 single occupant massage rooms and 2 double occupant massage rooms in the building. I believe we have a site plan and a floor plan included for you in the packet. And the applicant is proposing hours of operation Monday, I believe it's Monday through Saturday, 9 to 9, or I'll let the applicant clarify in a bit if she needs to. Like I said, in order to begin operation, the establishment not only has to be approved conditionally by you guys, but then go through the entire police department check, have the building and safety, fire department inspections, along with any health department requirements, all prior to anybody signing off on occupancy to take place or for the business to operate. As required by the municipal code, there are findings that must be made in a positive manner in order for the commission to approve this request for use. All of the findings have been made in a positive manner, and they are included in the staff report. Additionally, one thing I'll note in staff recommendation, staff is recommending that the commission hold a public hearing and approve the conditional use permit. However, we're requesting approval be effective June 7th, as that will be the first day that the code amendment will be effective after the 30-day waiting from when the city council approved it. Okay. And the applicants are in the audience present. Staff's available if you have any questions, as well as them.
Okay, I'm gonna do something a little different here. I'm gonna open it up now to a public hearing. So at 18 or 6:12, we're gonna open up the public hearing. If the DC is present, please come to the microphone so you can answer any questions that staff may have.
Hi.
Please state your name and address,
You
please.
can move the microphone down.
Yeah, okay. My first name is Wen, W-E-N. My last name is N-I-E. My address is 1570 Phoenix Drive, Beaumont, California, 92223.
Okay, now, staff, you have questions of the owner?
Did you, the clarification was you're gonna be operating Monday through Saturday and closed on Sundays?
No, I want to do 7 days a week.
7 days a week, okay. And then it's 9 to 9?
Yeah, 9 to 9.
Okay. And then how many, are you gonna be one of the massage therapists or are you gonna have staff?
Yeah, I'm like a part-time, so I have one is full-time right now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, our, the old municipal code section being kind of outdated. You know, I went through, we did have a lot of discussions. You're in agreement with what the, you know, what we decided through your planning commission and city council as far as the regulations that you're gonna be subject to? You have any?
It's hard to hear you. You're talking a little bit low.
Sorry.
I'll try. This might be a little bit better than, you know, with the update that we have in the municipal code, I just want to make sure that with all the regulations that are proposed as part of that, you have no objections to any of those?
I don't know, I mean, what was this covered today?
So basically the licensure requirements are the things I provided you guys like
Right.
a couple months ago. None of that has really changed. So
Right,
basically
so, yeah,
everything that
we're
we
all-
covered
we're all
ahead of
set
time.
with
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Okay, do you have any additional comments?
Just basically, you know, we'll start with 2 people, and if it gets busier, we'd add somebody else, but they'd be licensed, you know, so it's all within the law or whatever, you know, so. It's new, I don't know how busy it'll be around here, you know, so.
Okay, and then you do understand that if we approve this conditional use permit, it will not be effective until June 7th.
Right.
Yeah, you cannot,
Yeah, they're still able to get into the building and set up and do all the improvement or anything that needs to be done. We just wouldn't be able to sign off occupancy until June
so
7th,
you
which
couldn't,
is,
they couldn't conduct their business till
Right,
June
right.
7th.
Right,
That-
correct.
That's fine, we haven't really gone ahead, we're just waiting for the permit.
Okay, sir. Any other questions, comments?
None at this time.
Okay, then at this time at 6:10, I'm going to close the public hearing. No, we already asked. I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:10. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments from staff?
no, I think we've been working to make sure we're all good.
Mr. Barr?
I'm good.
No, I think that, you know, we kind of went through, and like I said, with the municipal code update, and we kind of addressed a lot of that, and it gives reasonable expectation of what is the type of business that we want, and enforcement, and, you know, kind of some clarity and some confidence in what the state requirements are, and, you know, how we operate there. So, you know, I feel much more comfortable with the code update than prior, so.
And
Well-
the city's police chief does sit on the California Massage Therapy Council board, so he's, I mean, all cities have access to that, but we happen to be in a particularly nice position that he's part of the board so that we do have access to regulatory information pretty easily. So.
Okay. If there's no other comments, I'll hear a motion to approve conditional use permit CUP 2019-0025 effective June 7th, 2019, subject to the findings herein and the proposed conditions of approval. And those conditions of approval, the ones that you have been given and the ones that the police department will work out with you. I hear a motion.
I move that we accept it as stated.
I'll second.
Okay, I have a first and a second. Mr. Barr's first, Nathan's second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Chairman Tinker.
Yes. I didn't let Nicole ask the roll call last time. I was being stingy. Okay. Item number 3, conditional use permit CUP 2019-0029 for an off-sale general license type 21 for the sale of beer, wine, and liquor at a grocery store located at 1575 East 2nd Street in the San Gorgonio Village Specific Plan. It's a grocery outlet. And staff?
Thank you. So this is an application for a conditional use permit for general sales of alcohol, beer, wine, and liquor for a grocery store to be located in the San Gorgonio Village. It is not located there yet, although they are underway. As you know, the municipal code requires approval of a conditional use permit for alcohol sales. We have done all the proper noticing. We have not received any comments from the public or any other agency regarding this request for license. The ABC defines off-sale general as a package store authorizing the sale of beer, wine, and distilled spirits for consumption off the premises from where it is sold. This is going to be a grocery store, one of the anchor tenants in the San Gorgonio Village, which you may have seen is underway. And it's an 18,000 square foot building with about 12,000 square feet that's dedicated to the grocery use. The remaining square footage used for typical things like storage, office, stocking, grocery area, and whatnot. The building is suitable for a grocery store. It is in compliance with the specific plan and the allowed uses there. The license would be complementary to the primary use as a grocery store and would not have any impact on the other, I guess, the other suites and tenants that will be occupied there. The municipal code requires findings to be made in order for this to be approved. The Planning Commission can approve or modify the conditions that we've included or deny if you so choose. All of the findings have been made in a positive manner. They're included in the staff report. Staff is recommending that the commission hold a public hearing and approve conditional use permit CUP 2019-0029, subject to the proposed conditions of approval and the findings stated herein. The applicant's representative is present in the audience if you have any questions, and staff is also available if you have any questions.
Okay, I'm going to open the public hearing at 6:15 regarding CUP 2019-0029. And if the
Good evening, Commissioners. Is this on?
Yeah, you're
Okay. I'm Katie Shard, representing Grocery Outlet tonight. I'm very happy to be here to answer any questions you may have about Grocery Outlet. I know there isn't one in Beaumont currently. There are a couple stores in Ontario. You may have visited those. There are some stores coming this summer to downtown Palm Springs, another one coming to Yucca Valley, and then we have Hemet and Desert Hot Springs also will have new stores as well, probably at the end of this year or beginning of 2020. So I was a customer of Grocery Outlet long before I started working for them. I think they're just a fantastic store. They're extremely well run. It's a family run organization. They started in 1946, I believe. out of Berkeley, and now they're spreading through the state and then outside of California into Oregon and Washington as well. And it's a unique concept. It's they call it opportunity-based purchasing. About half of what is sold at a grocery outlet is merchandise that was either going through a change in marketing or it was a production overrun, and so these products are sold at a lower price point, even though they're the exact same product you might find at a more traditional grocery store. And then the other products that they do not have through the bargain opportunity to purchase is stuff that they purchase directly as a traditional grocery store so that they have those products, the full complement available within the store. And those items would be the produce, of course, because those are not things that you purchase as second goods or whatever they may be termed. But it's a wonderful concept. They're very, very popular. They have a wonderful, unique following because of the concept. And we have read the conditions of approval and have no issue with any of them. And so we are ready to agree to everything and get the conditional use permit approved.
Staff, Mr.
I have no questions of staff.
No questions.
Do you have a target opening date?
Yes, we do. I believe it's November 20th of this year.
Okay.
Do you have any engineering No, I'm just kidding. Okay, is there any other questions? Anybody else got any other questions? Okay, I'm going to close the public hearing at 6:18 on CUP 2019-0029. Okay. I will entertain a motion to approve conditional use permit 2019-0029 for the off-sale general license type 21 for sale, beer, wine, or liquor at a grocery store located at 1575 East 2nd Street in the San Gorgonio Village specific plan, even though the building's not there yet. You know what? I want to compliment staff too, because numerous times we've had these things come to us and all they ask is for beer and wine, and then 3 months later they come back and we got to go through the whole routine again to pick up the liquor, when they can do it all at one time. So thank you.
I appreciate it, but it was grocery outlet that just submitted all for once, right away. So it did make it easier on all of us.
So, Nicole, I have a motion. Do I have a first?
I'll move to approve as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Smith is the first. Commissioner Paul is the second. And you get to do the roll call because I screwed it up to start with.
Commissioner Barr,
Yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Vice Chair St. Martin,
Yes.
and Chairman Tinker.
Yes. Okay, now, Community Development Director's comments.
All right, so it's been still pretty busy around the planning department. I have an updated list that I've provided for you guys with what's going on in the department, and then some of the projects that we have their status on, and then some of the future, the bottom half, some of the future items that you may see coming before you. So if you have any questions about those, or if you get any questions out in the community, this may help guide you, or you can always call me or refer anybody to me. We will have our second meeting of the month on May 28th, and we will see Link Housing Apartment Complex and one other use requested over in the manufacturing zone. And I think that's about it for me for right now. Oh, I do have one, if she would entertain it. So as you know, I've been solo for quite some time in the planning department, and we have finally hired a senior planner. She actually showed up tonight to check us out, Carol Kendrick, and she will be joining us officially on Friday this week in the planning department as the senior planner.
Well, congratulations. Welcome on board. We don't always have this much fun, but we will try to.
Yes, we do.
And you'll learn that He attends 10% of the meetings because he's usually in conflict with everything. I have a question,
Yes, sir.
if I may. The Oak Valley Parkway and Golf Club Drive, it shows that as a restaurant and retail center. Trying to figure out which corner.
So we have one that's filed, that's on the top half of the list that will be coming to you in, I think, the June meeting.
Okay.
And that's gonna be the
Southeast?
northeastmost corner of the, so you have the circle, and then you have Golf Club Drive and Oak Valley Parkway. So Holiday Inn's up here, and then it comes around like that. So these ones are on that outside facing Oak Valley Parkway. So the one that you'll see coming up in June is typical like gas station retail that'll be phased in. Same property owner that owns the Chevron near there is doing that one. And then on the bottom half of the list, the one that you see that hasn't been filed yet is just to the west of that, inching towards the freeway. And there's been some interest from some restaurants and additional retail partners that I think they'll end up making it a nice center, which is what we've discussed with the property owners. The few of them that are out there is to make a cohesive development. So the first guy in the one that's coming in June, he is aware of all this, and he's actually the one that's brought some of those other ones in. So you'll see that the gas station will go ahead and go in, but the rest of the retail will phase with the rest of, as they move out towards those valleys.
So they're going to bump up next to the Holiday Inn Express.
They're moving in that direction, yeah.
One other question, and I've been, and we may not even know yet, but I've noticed that Sacramento keeps trying to better our lives by changing densities on housing projects. I thought we've been pretty good in this community about that, but is that, if they change the density situation, will that affect us?
So there's a lot of movement in housing. We had the big housing bill package that came through last year. There's a lot of lots of moving parts still this year. We have quite a bit of, I should say, quite a few tools in our housing element and in our zoning code that allow us to be compliant with with what is required right now. And there have been some changes. For instance, the project that we'll see later in the month, the linked housing, it's a specific type of project. It's a supportive housing project, so it's geared towards a particular demographic of individuals that the state has a high need housing for. So we do have some additional reduced parking requirements, or reduced parking allowances, I should say, and then some increased densities. But in our housing element, we provide for those densities based on how the target market for those units. So it's every percentage of unit, 10%, 20%, 30% yields a certain amount of density bonus. So we're still pretty spot on, and then we do monitor it weekly, I would say, with all what's going on.
Well, I know at one point, probably a year or 2 years ago, we worked pretty hard on our housing plan to make sure that we were anticipating some changes.
Yeah.
And I think, the work that's going on with the general plan update as well, some of the new types of land uses and, areas that we're eyeing for a little bit more density or mixed-use development is in line with some of the goals that Sacramento is passing anyway. So.
Yep, yeah, the priority policy areas are there, and we will be in compliance, at least for substantially in compliance with those things. And we do a good job here with our 6th Street corridor and our multifamily areas, allowing for a variety of uses. Yeah.
Well, one other question, and then I'll get out of your hair, but one time we had discussed when we were looking at our housing plan that infill lots that we could use to meet some of the needs of the housing plan. Are we still good there on?
We do have infill programs in the housing element.
Okay.
In that, it takes a lot of work with both the city and the property owner, and since we don't have redevelopment funds anymore, it's a little harder to facilitate some of those lot consolidations or incentivize it to occur. there's always discussion at the state level of whether or not any of that type of funding will come back in all or in part at some point in time to help facilitate these things. I think it would be very targeted and specific, but our housing element does include lot consolidation program for infill development in particular. So anything on the 6th Street corridor or in the north-south streets that are, you know, south of 8th to 6th. And then the 6th cycle RENA housing is starting now. So we're in the planning phases, and SCAG and the subcommittees are working on the new methodology. So our housing element is good until October 2021, but by then we need to have our new housing element approved. So the end of the year, we'll be going out for an RFP for updating the housing element for the new cycle with the new requirements, and then you guys will be seeing that sometime in 2020 before it goes to council.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for Planning Director? No? Well, and welcome on board. We're glad to see you here. And okay, then I'm going to close the meeting at 6:27.